Hi, did you miss me? Because I know I miss me. Oh my God, I've been literally going fucking crazy mentally by not talking to you guys, by not sharing, not posting any episodes in 3 fucking weeks now? I am so sorry. Even though not one person was like, hey girl, what's going on with the pod? Not one person. I have been doing like somersaults in my fucking brain because I haven't posted anything. Not to mention, this episode was supposed to be posted 3 weeks ago. It is also the 100th episode of Girl Stop Talking. Bow, bow, bow. Okay. 100 fucking episodes. This is crazy. I was thinking back over the last couple of days. This is the longest I haven't posted in, I think, 2 years. The last 2 years, I was doing all last year weekly episodes, the year before bi-weekly episodes. So for me to go 3 weeks for the first time in 2 years, you know your girl was struggling mentally. I was busy as fuck, as we know. I want to give you guys like a whole debrief, a whole lowdown, but I do feel like that's going to be another episode. We're going to talk about EDC. I know that was a couple weeks ago. You guys seen some things on my stories, and I want to kind of share that experience. I didn't do any podcasting there, but there is, some stories to tell. There are some catch-ups to do, but for the 100th episode, pause. Speaking of catch-ups, we were in the middle of traumatic story times, leaving toxic relationships, and then I just went fucking MIA on everyone. I am so sorry. And my next episode was supposed to be how to move on from toxic relationships. And then I was looking at the episode count, and I'm sitting here like, my 100th episode cannot be about my shit ex. Like, I'm sorry, but we just cannot. I've made so much of my life about him. I am like, my 100th episode is not going to be about you, boo-boo, no. And so I've decided that today's episode is going to be a compilation of episodes over the last 3-4 years of me podcasting. I feel like 100 is a big, trademark, a big celebratory thing that we should be celebrating. And it was driving me fucking crazy, paining my soul that I did not release this fucking episode. To be quite honest, it wasn't done. We had the fucking RV remodel. We had EDC. We had recovering from EDC. And then we had Memorial Day, and I was like, it should be out by Memorial Day. But I'm like, technically it's a holiday, so what's one more week, girl? 1 more week of fucking mental gymnastics of me feeling like I'm not doing enough for everyone, and they have expectations of me. I'm going fucking crazy. Literally was going crazy. But we will talk about that. We will catch up with that in a further episode, because I have so much to bring to you. I know there's a lot of new listeners, and I know that not everybody probably started from the beginning. Honestly, don't. Started from the bottom, now we're here, quite literally. My beginning episodes, so bad. Some of them, pretty good, okay, kind of good. And you're gonna hear some of those today, and that's why I wanted to do this episode. I felt with celebrating 100 episodes, we should do a flashback to the episodes that got us here. And that's what this episode is going to be about. I don't know how many times I just said that. Hear that? Cheers. Girl, stop talking. All the shit that people are thinking but not saying. I'm not even drunk. I've just been drinking. Are you still talking? Girl, stop talking. Happy fucking Monday, bitches. I'm so excited to show you the evolution, quite literally, of the Girl Stop Talking podcast. You're gonna see it through the episodes that I take you through today. And as I'm watching back some of the episodes and the video and the conversations, it's truly a growing process, and it's honestly humbling me a lot because I'm the type of person that I just feel like I could be doing more, and I'm always setting the bar higher and higher. And so the fact that I've been going through these episodes and really seeing the evolution of where I started and versus where we are now is really fucking cool. And if you're watching this episode, you're going to see that too. I also want to give you a little heads up for those that are watching. You will quite literally see how horrible the audio versus video connection is, how bad the edits are, and the progress of which the show has gotten to. So you're literally going to be wow, how many times am I going to say it? You will quite literally be watching along the way in the growth of the show. If you've been an active listener, for the last 3 years, then we have been here, girl. And I thank you, all of you. Seriously, so much. It means so much to me. And if you're new here, you will be able to see, starting from the bottom and now we're here. Quite literally going to see that through the evolution of this episode. But I'm going to start you with one of my first video recorded episodes titled The Anal Diet. So if you think this is funny, fun, or something that you want to go back and listen to, you can easily find it. And in this episode, we are talking and reminiscing on the first time I ever did anal. You're going to hear my favorite clips from this episode right now. Hey, bitches. I'm back. Before I share my story, I just want to let you guys know that this wasn't just an experience where it was like, okay, fuck it, stick it in my ass. It was like not how it happened. There was preparations. This is not something you just jump into. If you jump into it, you are literally going to have regrets, like big ones, okay? We don't want to shit on anyone. Let's not do that. Isn't that like your biggest fear? I think for women, like speaking for myself, like my biggest fear about this whole thing is like literally shitting on someone. Not just like roasting them, like actually it happening. And that is not something that I don't think a man wants to happen to them either. So what you're going to do in order to prep is you have to really focus on like being relaxed. And a big way to start that is to get some toys. Okay. Butt plugs. Amazing. Usually they come in sets of 3. I would definitely recommend getting a set because they start with a really small one and then they gradually get bigger. Butt plugs are something that if you've never used one, they literally feel amazing. Okay. It makes you feel, it's kind of like makes you feel full. Like there's this other aspect to it where you feel like filled up, in a really good way. So you're going to want to start with the smallest butt plug. And this isn't even something that you need to do like while you're having sex. You can literally put one in and clean the fucking house. Like for one, lube. Yes. Number one thing when it comes to playing with the anus is lube, because the glands in your butthole are not the same as the glands in your vagina. So like when you start playing with yourself in like with your vagina, whether it's like with a toy or your fingers or like a guy who's playing with you, you tend to, like what everyone says is, get wet, right? Because those glands, they get turned on and they produce that wetness. Your anus will not do that. So you 100% need lube always. I had absolutely no intention of doing anal the night that it happened. And it was also quite a shock to me in the moment. So we were just having a regular night. We had some friends over. We were partying and drinking. And then we shortly went to the bedroom to have sex. We used the butt plug. And one of like my favorite positions right now has been when like, it's literally like I'm planking, like laying on the bed, full plank. And he's just like sliding his dick. And I can feel it like sliding in and out, pressing against my butt cheeks. And something about that just gets me so fucking wet. So like, that's what we were doing. Completely not in control, boyfriend stroking, and in that position. And then all of a sudden he's like, babe, let me stick it in your ass. And I'm thinking to myself, like, oh, everything feels so good. I'm so relaxed. Like, okay, fuck it. I was like, just go slow. So that's exactly what we did. He went slow and I just kept breathing in my nose, out my mouth. And it was like getting the initial length in was one thing. And then it was like slowly going for that. And then I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, I cannot believe this is happening right now. And I'm like, holy shit, it feels so fucking good. Okay. This next clip is one of my favorite episodes. It is titled My 7-Day Breakup and the Man in My Attic. And you are going to hear the story of where I quite literally thought that I had a man living in my attic. And it is probably one of my favorite episodes to date. I just think you're going to feel very inclusive in the story, like I'm right here talking to you about exactly what's going on. So let's take a look. My main thing, well, I have a couple of things, but what I want to get into, over the last 2 weeks, I have had some serious anxiety to the point where like I was like making up these like crazy scenarios and situations in my head that like weren't really going on. So let me tell you a story. Last week, I was cleaning my house. I lived in this house for almost a year. I was like deep cleaning. You know when you're like sad or upset or you're like having anxiety, it's like cleaning is like the one rhythm to like get you out of your head. I always like put old school music on. Old school for me is like 90s, early 2000s. I'll put like early 2000s music, rap, R&B, whatever. Start cleaning the house. And I like was really struggling with what was going on in my personal life. And I'm like, okay, I'm fucking cleaning my house. I don't care how long it takes me. Nobody was home. It was just me. I spent, I think it was like a Saturday, deep cleaning the fuck out of this place. Everything from like doors, door handles, walls. My son's bathroom is fucking disgusting. Little boys wake up in the middle of the night, half asleep. They like pull their pants down, whip it out, and just like spray their piss all over the place. The toilet is gross. The walls. I found pee on the walls. Little boy pee on the walls from him like holding it for too long, running into the bathroom and be like, whoosh, like a fucking water hose if you let go of it. Anyways, I was cleaning my whole fucking house and really like deep cleaning, getting into everything, doing the windowsills, the blinds, like the fans, mopping, bathroom, showers, all the things. And I'm walking down the hallway, like right when I'm finished, I'm almost done. So it's like, oh fuck yeah, this feels so good. Everything feels so clean. I love it here. I'm walking down the hallway to my son's room to shut the door because his room is dirty as fuck. And I have an attic. And my attic is like right above, it's like on the ceiling, right in front of his door. And I noticed that the attic had fingerprints on it. Like it was like dirty. There were not like a handprint, but like fingerprints. There was like a scuff off the side. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, why the fuck are there fingerprints on the attic? I've lived here for a year. I've never been in the attic. I've never had anyone come over and service the attic or like what is even up there or check up there or anything. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, don't freak out. You don't need to freak out. You've lived here for a year. Nothing's happened. Why would anything happen? Like, it was probably just there the whole time. And then I laid in bed and I was like, it wasn't there the whole time? Did someone come into my house? Has someone been living up there? When did someone touch the attic? I've been here for a year. Has someone been in my house for a year? For a year? I'm literally getting goosebumps as I'm telling this story because it's freaking me out. So I tried to just put it out of my mind, okay? A couple of days go by, I'm at work talking with one of my clients, and I forget what we were talking about, but I mentioned this, and I was like, I don't understand, why would there be fingerprints up there? I don't get it. And she's like, oh my God, is someone living up there? But she's literally in this, she is the same way, where she's if she gets anxious about something, she's taking off, okay? It's that episode or that scene from Bridesmaids where she's all anxious about being on the plane, and the one woman's like, there's a woman on the wing trying butter. That's literally how she is. And then when you get two anxious people, that one person is always already anxious about the situation, and the other person is illogically anxious about situations. That's what happens. And so I was you know what, I'm going to forget about it. It's there's no way, that's ridiculous. It's not logical. I keep my doors locked, whatever. And then that night I came home. I came home and I started remembering things, weird things that happened around the house. And, listen, I've lived in the ghetto basically my whole life. And you lock your doors always. Okay, you don't keep your garage open. Well, first of all, I didn't even have a garage for most of my life, but I don't keep my garage open. I don't keep my doors unlocked. I don't keep my car unlocked. Even if I park my car in the garage, I take my keys out, and for a long time, I would still lock my car. Because people are just sketchy, and if you live in the ghetto, it doesn't really matter what you do. If there's a will, there's a way. So I got home that night, and I started thinking about all the weird things that have happened. There was one time I came home from work, and my front door was open. And I was like, what the fuck? Why is the front door open? Now, I will say, the front door isn't aligned properly with the lock. So if it's not deadbolted and you don't push it until you hear it click, it easily blows open. And I knew that. So at the time I was like, whatever, that's probably what happened. Obviously when I came home and saw the door open, I searched the house, looked in the showers, whatever, no one was there, everything was fine. Nothing was in disarray, nothing was stolen, whatever. But then I started remembering all these little things, oh, I came home and the door was open. And then there was one time I came home from vacation and I had a friend coming over to check on my cat. And when I came home, the door handle to the garage, you know how the handle's up against the door, it was loose so that I could see the hole in the door, and it was loose. And I sent a picture to her and I was like, hey, did you notice this? What happened? She's like, no, I didn't notice that. And I was like, that's weird. Why would it all of a sudden be loose and hanging? Okay. But I didn't chalk it up to anything because I was like, oh, whatever, not a big deal. All the doors were locked, someone was over here, nothing's in disarray, blah, blah, blah. And then I remembered this dream I had. This dream was back in January, okay? I'm telling you this story that I was freaking out about someone being in my attic in the last 2 weeks, and this dream I had was in January. I remember I had this dream where and I remember it so physically because it was so freaky, and I had to pull myself physically out of dreaming to being awake. And who knows, maybe I was dreaming the whole time. I have no idea. I was dreaming that there was someone standing in my room, and I didn't see physically what the person looked like. It was just a black shadow of a person, and someone was standing there. In my dream, I was yelling at myself, wake up, you need to wake up, wake up, girl, wake up. And I remember I physically had to peel my eyes open. I was like peeling them open. Like I remember my eyes being so heavy, like I could not even get them open, but my inner part of me was like screaming at myself, like, wake up, you need to wake up. And I woke up and I opened my eyes and I looked where in my dream the person was. And when I opened my eyes, no one was there. It was just my hallway with the light shining down because I keep a light on because Deegan likes light on when he goes to sleep, my son. And no one was there. And then my eyes were so heavy I could not even keep them open and I fell back to sleep. So then I'm sitting here in my bed last week thinking about all these fucking things. Like, are these just a fucking coincidence? Is there someone sleeping in my fucking attic? And then I'm sitting here like trying to like this is so counterintuitive. Trying to like be logical with myself about the situation, and I'm like, okay, if there's someone in the attic, I've been here for a year already, right? So, it's fine if they've been living here for a year. Like, they haven't hurt me. They haven't I haven't woke up to anyone staring at me in the middle of the night. I've never seen anyone. Like, maybe they just need a place to stay. Like, I know inflation is rising and it is high, and it's expensive to live. Maybe it's just the inflation. They saw the door open. They took an opportunity when they saw it, and they're just they're up there. They're living their life. They're not bothering me. I never saw anyone. Maybe it's fine. I'm not fucking kidding you. I could not sleep for a fucking week. I could not fucking sleep every single night. Then I started feeling I was contemplating with myself, okay, it's fine. No one's gonna hurt me. They're up there. They just need a place to sleep. It's okay. And then I started thinking, what if they're watching me? They've had all this time. They've been living there this whole time. They're watching me. They're running surveillance of me in my house. They know exactly when I leave, when I'm coming back home. They have this whole plan, and that's why they're living. Then I was in the shower, and I couldn't even take fucking showers because I felt like someone watching me. And I'm already the naked neighbor. I do my best not to leave the blinds open when I'm living my life, but I just feel comfortable walking around my house naked, and I don't really want to change that about myself. And then I started thinking that this person was in my attic with a full surveillance and 4 monitors and cameras watching my every move. How long have I been talking about this? Oh my God, this is a long story. Okay. So, needless to say, I was literally freaking out. My dad was coming over to help me with some stuff, and I just ended up texting him, and I'm like, you know what? I just have to have a peace of mind about this whole situation. So I texted my dad, and I was like, when you come over, can you bring your ladder to look in my attic? I know this sounds crazy, but I'm literally freaking myself out. It's dirty on the attic. I've never been up there, and I'm having a lot of anxiety that someone is up there. And I know it sounds crazy. I just need clarity. He dead ass texts me back. Okay. Dude, I don't know what I would do without my dad. I've locked myself out of 2 places. Okay, I locked myself out of my house recently. He broke into my house using my window and let me back in. My last place was on the 2nd story. I locked myself out of that. Thankfully, the window was open, and I had a screen. He literally grabbed a ladder, climbed up the ladder, took off the screen, climbed in my window, and let me back into my house. I just, I don't really know what I would do because there's no way I would be able to fucking sit here and open my attic to see if there was a person in there. I've seen The Exorcist. I'm not doing that. I've seen those articles where there's a man living in the person's attic and no one fucking knew. They heard creepy noises and shit. No, not doing it. So he texted me back and he's like, what kind of noises are you hearing? Which I replied, well, so I'm not actually hearing noises. Yeah. There were no noises. I'm getting goosebumps again. The whole thing just freaks me out. Anyways, I can't make this long story short because I think I've been talking about it for 20 minutes, but My dad came over. He hung out my mirror in the pool room, which looks amazing. And then he grabbed his ladder and looked in the attic. And he's like, there's just insulation, no footprints, no anywhere. If someone was up here, you'd be able to see footprints. And he's like, I literally don't think anyone has been up here since this home has been purchased. There's nothing. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Immediate relief, like a weight has been lifted off my chest. I'm like, thank God. And then my natural reaction was to be like, okay, so there's like no makeshift bed, there's no surveillance cameras. And my dad just like laughs at me. He's like, no, everything is fine. So then I had asked him, since he was up there, if he could just like clean the top of that so I don't have any more PTSD about the way I'm living. Listen, I suffer from anxiety, self-diagnosed anxiety, but I have a lot of anxiousness. It's not something I don't think I have to be on medication for, although that was a moment that I had, and it was like I was struggling every once or twice a year. I have these moments where I'm struggling. I feel better. I'm so grateful there's no one living in my attic. Okay, this next episode is just absolutely ridiculous. I was working on doing some solo episodes, and I had some people being like, you have too many guests on, like we just want to hear your experience and what's going on with life. And so I'm quite literally just talking to you about getting my asshole lasered. And I want to keep this conversation fun, light, and funny. And I truly just believe that people love real life experiences. So hold on tight, because don't clench your asshole too tight. But I wanted to get laser because in the summer we're out at the lake a lot, and my fucking thighs be chafing. Okay. I'm going to be honest. I've gone 3 sessions, and I'm just not sure if the technician is really like getting all up in there in the way that she should. Okay. I've told her the last couple of times, I'm like, hey, I don't want to tell you how to do your job, because I fucking hate it when some client comes in and tells me how to lash. I mean, I get people have preferences, but it's like when someone comes in so specific of like, this is what I have, this is what I want, and then you look at the work and I'm like, you have no idea what you're talking about, but okay. Anyways, so I told her, I'm like, I don't want to tell you how to do your job. I'm just like, I ask a lot of questions. I'm like, I just want to know how it works. Like, are you hitting like every single spot? Do you have to like skip a certain amount of space to like not over like flash the skin to help with like burning or whatever? I don't know. So I've asked her a couple of times, and the first time she didn't do my labia. It's the labia of the lips. I should know this. I feel like she didn't do like my lips at all. Like not these lips, like girlfriend's lips down there. Let me just be clear. I'm not getting a mustache. I'm talking about my vagina. Okay. She didn't like get in there at all. And I was like telling her, I'm like, you gotta like get in there, girlfriend. Like, don't let this money go to waste, because I want to be like bald like a hairless cat. Okay. What is happening? Okay. I told her, I'm like, please, like, get in there, like, spread those lips apart and like zap that shit. Like, get in there and get it. And the second time, she really did. Like, she got in there a little more. She turned it up. Like, I could definitely feel it. It's getting spicy. But I was like, let the hair grow out a little bit to see like what's going on. And like, it's patchy, we're getting there. But I like to keep a little landing strip. I don't want to be like bald like an eagle, like it's giving underage. Like, it's just not for me. Like, I'm not talking like full bush zone. I don't need that either. But I like, a little strip. I keep her trimmed. She looks cute. It's like best of both worlds. Right now, my landing strip is looking like a conveyor belt. Okay. I'm like, grows out a little too long. And I'm like, she's really not paying attention to detail. And I don't know. You guys have to like comment and let me know, or hit me up on Instagram and let me know if you get laser, and if this is like, if they Like, what is it like for you? I feel like I'm getting sold short a little bit, and I only have like 2 more sessions, and I'm like, girl, you best spread that open. And laser that shit off, because I don't want to have to pay for more. You know what I mean? Okay. Enough about that. Let's talk about my asshole. I got out of the shower after this experience because I was like, I'm getting all of it. Like, we're getting all the hair off from my undercarriage. And you gotta check. Like, so do you ever just like bend over in front of the mirror to look at your ass? Let me tell you, this is a new experience. I feel like I've done it before, but it's been a while. So I was checking the laser in my ass. I was checking the hair and trying to see how the laser has been in my ass. And like, I feel like that hair is not as dark, so I can't really see anything. But I, I can't even believe I'm talking about this. Okay. I came up with a new discovery. No. I feel like my asshole changed colors. This is too much. I'm sorry. I'm dying. I always thought I had a pink asshole. I can't even get it out. Oh my god. She's definitely looking like a little 5 o'clock. Episode 62, I didn't fuck your girl. Lake Tales, something like that. Lake Tales, I didn't fuck your girl. This episode, I'm going to be so for real now that I'm like looking back at all of this. I know that I could have told the story so much better, but when I was recording this episode, I had virgin ears in the home, regardless of him being in his room with the door shut and on his screen in his own world. I still felt as a mom, I'm like, I probably shouldn't be yelling, screaming about this whole thing while my child is in the other room. Kind of weird, you know what I mean? But like, this is an open communicative household where we just talk about those things. Either way, this episode was this was 2 summers ago. Was this last summer? No, this was last summer, bitch. What? When we had met these people at the lake and they were in an open relationship and somehow got the idea that I wanted to steal and fuck his girl. And in this story, I share exactly how that experience went down, how uncomfortable it was, and how we had some man knocking at our door in the middle of the night, in the middle of my man and I having sex, and him quite literally answering the door with nothing on but his hand over his dick. Okay? So I hope you enjoy. I've been told I'm too hot to be around someone's husband and asked to leave. I've been accused of lying to someone's boyfriend about hiding and fucking his girlfriend. And I was told that this guy had to unfriend and block me off of Instagram because his girlfriend was jealous. The story is like so funny. Okay. So we meet this couple last year. One of the first weekends we were out there, saw the same couple again. So like went over, said hi, hung out. We were like hanging out all day, just like shooting the shit, drinking, having a good time. They're like, oh, are you going to go to Dylan's after this? Like, we're about to leave. And I was like, okay, yeah, we'll be down there. Like, we'll see you down there. We'll just finish out the night, whatever. And we're going to fast forward to Saturday night. Saturday night, we're at Dylan's. And everybody, same people, everybody's there. We're all hanging out, having a good time. And this couple that had come up to us the night before that are in the lifestyle, it seemed like they were like arguing or something, like not getting along. And, you know, all couples, we all have our shit. Like, it's never perfect, especially when like alcohol is involved, whatever. So it was getting wild. We were all drinking, having fun. Like, me and the girl were like hanging out, whatever. Her and her man end up getting into an argument, and he comes up to me and he says, you know what? She chose you. You can take her home. She chose you. And I was like, wait, what? I'm like, I'm not taking anybody home. Like, and I don't think he was saying he was gonna like leave her there. And I'm like, I don't think you should leave your girlfriend. Like, and honestly, she's not my responsibility. So like, if you guys are arguing, that's like a you problem. Like, you should take your girlfriend home. You shouldn't just leave her at the lake. Like, for one, it could be dangerous, and it's just like not a good vibe, you know? But when he came up to me, he was like, she chose you, you can take her. And I'm like, what do you mean she chose me? Like, they knew we were staying there for the weekend. So like, I'm not sure what the conversations were that like led to this comment. Like, it seemed like there was some something was unresolved before all of this started to take place, because they were getting into it, and then it was just like thrown on me and Zach to like take her back with us. I don't know. It was a little strange, not gonna lie. And even Zach was like, whatever, like, she's had a lot to drink. Like, if she needs a place to stay because they're arguing, they can just stay. And I told him, I was like, no, we're not doing that, because I don't want to put myself in. And he's like trying to give the benefit of the doubt and be nice. And normally I would do that, but I'm like, it just felt uncomfy. And it had already felt like there was like a scheming type of thing. And then it was just getting a little unnerving, if you will. Oh my God, if you're literally watching this, my cat is so needy. He's like trying to, okay, come on, let's go. Lay down. So I'm like, if you're going to leave, you should take your woman. You can't just leave her at the lake. They end up walking out together. Okay. Literally walked out together. Zach was like, hey, let's go. We got to get the boat out of the water, bring it back up to the RV. So we're getting the boat out of the water, and that's like my job. Zach does a trailer, I do the boat. So I'm in the boat, and I get a phone call, and it's like a number. You know how like iPhones will be like, maybe this person? Well, it's like the number and maybe his name, the guy of the couple. And I answer the phone, and he's like, hey, where's my girlfriend? I'm like, what do you mean? Where's your girlfriend? I'm like, she left with you. And he's like, no, we were walking up the boardwalk, and she got upset and threw her phone at me and then walked off. And I was like, oh, damn. I don't know. Like, honestly, I'm like, I'm getting the boat out of the water with Zach right now. So I don't know. The last time I saw her, she was with you. I'm not really sure where she's at, but she's got to be somewhere between the parking lot and Dylan's, the restaurant. Leo, it's not your show. Jesus. Okay. This is like where it starts to get interesting, because I pull the boat out of the water. I'm like on the phone with this guy, and I'm like, if I see her, I'll text you and I'll let you know. But I don't really know what else to say. It was almost like he kept making comments being like, if she's with you, like, please just tell me. And I'm like, look, I'm like in the boat by myself, like looking around, and I'm like, she's not with me. Like, I wouldn't lie about something like this. Like, I don't want to be involved in like your guys' argument. She left with you. I don't know where she's at, and I don't really know what else to say. So I don't know. Like, I hope you find her. And I get off the phone. And we go about our night. We get the boat out of the water. I was little Liddy at this point. And then we get back in the RV, and me and Zach full on have a sexcapade. Like, my phone was getting blown up. I'm like, I'm not dealing with this. I'm like, I want to have like some intimacy with my man. And we like dim down the lights. We have the lights on. We put the music on. We have this rule where anytime we have sex, we don't do it without music or porn. And it has to be one or the other, sometimes both. But that's one of the rules. So we set the mood. We're like lubing up, like we like oil all over the body. You know, it's like really creating this like sensual moment. And we're having sex. I put my phone away. I had to put it on like silence because I kept getting blown up. And I'm like, dude, I'm like, what is going on? This is wild. Like this, I'm not in this drama. I didn't take your girl. Take your girl. I put the phone down. Me and Zach are having sex, and we're like literally almost there, like waiting for this moment. You know, the moment where like both of you are gonna come at the same time. Because how many times does that happen when you're like sitting there and you know that like everybody's ready, you're almost there, and then all of a sudden we fucking hear boom, 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 boom. I wanted to do it. Boom, boom, boom. That wasn't as good as it could have been. And I'm like on top of him, riding him, and it's like the fucking police are at the door, okay? But except it wasn't the police. It was this girl's boyfriend banging on our door. Literally, like, oh my God. Leo. Sorry if you're just listening to this. My cat came in and just started pushing things around, and it's freaking pissing me off. Okay. He comes in, banging on the fucking door. Boom, boom, boom. Like the fucking police. And me and Zach look at each other like, what the fuck is that? Like, who the fuck is it there right now? Like, we didn't know. Zach gets up, butt ass naked, dick hard, in hand, oil all over his body, and opens the door. And he's like, Tatum, like, put your clothes on. I go into the bathroom and like use the bathroom, like put a towel on. And the next thing I know, I open the door and it's this guy looking at me dead in the eyes as I open the door to the bathroom in my RV. And he dead ass looks at me and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, and he's like, why aren't you answering my text messages? Why aren't you answering my calls? Oh my God, the level of rage that hit my body. I looked back at him and I was like, because I'm fucking my man. Like, who the fuck do you think you are coming in here accusing me or us of what? Like, are you insane? And then immediately I opened the door, like he literally thought that I was like hiding his girlfriend in the bathroom with me. So I opened the door and he sees that no one's in there. And then he starts immediately apologizing and like walking out and walks out of the RV. And I'm like, I just remember, like, it's so fucking hilarious to me to like think back about this position because I didn't see what I had already described to you guys about Zach. But like when I close the bathroom door, I like see Zach standing in the living room, butt ass. He's like glistening from the body oil and the blue and red lights that we have on. And he's just like holding his dick in his hand, like in one hand, butt naked. Like, what the fuck is going on? So the guy ends up leaving, and we're just kind of like shook, like astonished, like what the fuck actually just happened. And then I was just like so irritated I couldn't even like finish our night together, which was like annoyed me even more about the situation. But he ends up leaving. We end up going to bed. Okay. This was at like 12:30 at night. You know, I think I was just like so irritated at the fact that like this person thought that we were lying and hiding and like fucking his girl like underneath his nose. I don't know. It was like so strange. It was so strange. Okay, in this next clip, I have Janae from My Naked Mindset. She is another podcaster that I just met through posting content online, who talks about sex, dating, and relationships. And in this episode, we talk about our sex bucket list. This is honestly such a great thing to pull from an episode. And if I could narrow it down to just something so simple, this is the clip that I would want to give you, because we talk about how to keep things spicy in your relationship and how to involve your partner and able to like make things fun, to continue to, if you are a list person, you want to keep checking things off the list. You want to have fun. You want to be creative. You want to be spontaneous. This is the way to do it, by creating a sex bucket list. And in this clip, we're going to tell you exactly how to do that and how to maybe share some stories on like how to make those things fun and sexy.
So I think a really good starting point is if you're someone who is, curious, or maybe you're in like a sex rut, like with your partner, you've been in a long-term relationship and you're like, we need something to spice it up. Like, this is a perfect scenario to bring to the table. But also, I think this is a really cool opportunity if you're wanting to explore something or try out something new and you're like hesitant to like maybe share that, because I know sometimes people can really struggle with like being like, hey, I want to try XYZ. So it can be a really cool exploratory situation. And so that's kind of like maybe who it could be really good for. But I think literally anyone, you could do this if you're dating, if you're sleeping around, you can fucking whip out this thing and be like, hey, let's go do this. Like so I did this with my fiance. And so this was how I said it. I kind of can't remember exactly like how I brought it up to him, but I was like, hey, I have this idea. And so what I did was I made my own list, have your partner do their list, and then go on a date. And I mean, go somewhere where you like, it's almost like a sexy, like getting caught situation. Like we went to this bar, very busy bar.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, you write your list, I write my list. And then we're going to go to this bar and we're going to talk about our list and combine our lists. But it's like the waiter like could come over at any time. So it was like,
Yeah.
it was spicy. This might sound super cheesy, but if I were in that position, I would probably go and get some ideas on like literally just Google like sex positions, and that might give you a clue of like, oh, that's like a really good idea. Or maybe you want to listen to some audio porn, right? I think that's a really, really good option to kind of like look into like, okay, well, maybe I want to do a dress up, like teacher student type of vibe, or like something similar to that. So like getting ideas on what you're into, because that is a really good question of like, well, I don't really know what I'm into. Or maybe you've always wanted to have sex on the balcony on your vacation, which was something that I always wanted to do. And you best believe I checked that off my bucket list.
This next episode is titled Sober-ish, featuring Dylan from Team Optimize. And we're literally talking about the controversy of being sober, being healthy, not even being sober, but being healthy in your day-to-day life without the stigma of being like, I'm an addict or I have a problem. How to create and understand your relationship with alcohol, how to set better boundaries for yourself, and how to continue to live a healthy lifestyle along with being able to have fun, have experiences, drink a little bit, maybe here and there. And honestly, how society kind of portrays this whole idea of like being an alcoholic or being sober. I feel like this was one of the greatest healthy episodes that we have had, because it aligns with this whole idea of like, you don't have to be an addict and you don't have to be sober to live in the middle, because there is a gray area, but understanding like your whys for drinking and how important it is to really know where it is coming from so that you're not overindulging and continuing to live a healthy lifestyle. So if you like this clip, go listen to the full episode in its entirety, but we're going to give you a little sneak peek into what exactly we were discussing. To this realization of being semi-sober and that you feel like that is what you align with the most, like what does that mean to you? Like how did you come to that conclusion?
Yeah. I definitely enjoy my skinny spicy marks.
Yes. Yes.
Cheers to that.
Yes.
But to me, what it means is having an incredible relationship with it, and any boundaries that I do set or any intentions that I make. It's just like any journey, it's keeping promises to yourself. And
Okay.
what I love about that is I was never able to do that. I would tell myself, oh, I'm just going to have a drink or two. And then I'm 7 drinks deep that night. Like I would always break trust with myself and I would
Mm-hmm.
always pull back from what I said. So learning the relationship and learning the boundaries and, personally what I do is before I do start drinking, I, set up my intentions. But what's cool and like what probably resonates with people is when I'm going to a bachelorette party, girl, I'm not just saying I'm having 1 or 2 drinks. I am
Yeah.
intentionally saying you are going to have fun and have a lot of drinks,
Yeah.
you know? But, there's the opposite side of it. I used to go for a wine night with a girlfriend and we'd have 2, 3, and it's like, no, like my intention should be one. It's a Wednesday night. I don't need to do that. And
What do you think some other things that people could do to try and get themselves like in a better state of having a better relationship with alcohol?
yeah, I would just dive deeper. I know me personally, again, like I still have alcoholism in my family, people who have
Mm-hmm.
not decided to be sober or work on their relationship. So I've seen it destroy friendships, marriages in my family, just
Mm-hmm.
different family situations, and I think for me, it took diving deeper and realizing I don't want to feed into that anymore.
Yeah.
And I love my family, I love my friends, I've had some wonderful times drinking, but I'm sure we can all admit that there's been some nasty things that came out of drinking and just not in the right state of mind. And yeah, yeah, girl, like let's be
Right now.
real. It can really bring out the worst in people. So for me, it
Yeah.
was reflecting and being like, okay, every time that I drink, especially again after being out of that, toxic relationship, I was just feeding into such negative energy. I would go out and my intention would be, who's going to buy me drinks? And
Oh
it's
yeah, I
like,
remember that.
right. And it's like all this negative, like male attention and like, like
Yeah.
it was just, ugh, like not good energy.
This next clip is titled Choking on Motherhood. And this was last year, the midsummer, where I started working from home. Well, I was doing like a hybrid version, half in the salon, half home. My son was home. And I was just kind of expressing my ins and outs with what a working from home mom and our experiences together. Also, talking about very real life situations that were happening with my child and my clients in the home, being a single household for the most part. I say we're because you guys are always here with me. I was discussing some real life scenarios of what it's like having my son home and having to entertain, but also like silently, secretly, but also out loud because you guys are here listening. Hating my life, being at home and having to do it all at the same time, and my kid never leaving me alone. And I'm sure a lot of moms can relate. So I feel like this episode is hilarious. And I'm going to pull the best clips that I can from it so that you can get an idea of what it was all about. But if you felt in the slightest that you can understand my pain, go listen to the episode because it's a good one. Here we go. How do these moms do it? How are you working from home full time with having your children? And God forbid you're a mom that has more than one kid. The access that my child thinks he has to me when I'm working and me trying to keep a professional like atmosphere while being in the home. And my son literally is like walking in between my son and my fucking cat, walking into the room every 5 minutes. There's my kid who's like, what can I do? Hey, mom. Hey, mom. Hey, mom. 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 Literally, if I hear the name, the word mom one more fucking time before a sentence starts, I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna freak the fuck out, okay? Sometimes I look at him and I'm like, why do you keep calling me that? That's not my name. Seriously though, I'm like, I get so annoyed. I'm like, why the fuck are you walking around calling me fucking mom? That's not my name. I'm not your mom. Nothing makes you feel like you love your child more than when he has a life and death moment. Okay? That sounds so dramatic. And I like haven't even talked about it because I don't think I comprehended it. Later that night, we went to dinner. I was like, you know what? Let's get out of the house. I don't feel like cooking. We haven't gone anywhere today. Like, we just need to like be out, you know? We went to one of the steakhouse by our place and I was like, let's go treat ourselves to a nice dinner. My son is eating his steak. And all of a sudden, he's chewing and he's chewing and he goes to swallow. And I see him because we're talking. And I'm looking like right at him when this happens. We're in the middle of the dining hall, okay? He's goes to swallow. He can't swallow. I can see him like gulping and he's trying to swallow the piece of steak. It's not being swallowed. Then I see him go like choke. He starts choking on this piece of steak, okay? He chokes. You can tell he's trying to get it up. A couple heaves. Nothing is happening. Then the panic sets in. He's like literally I'm like watching this and like see his eyes get bigger and he starts to panic. And I'm sitting there, okay? And I'm describing the story very slow, but obviously it happened very quickly. I'm sitting there. As soon as I see the sheer panic in his face, I smack his back like really fucking hard. Okay. I've taken a CPR class before. It was a long, long time ago, 10 years ago, probably to be exact. Like when my child was an infant, I did parenting classes, got certified, whatever. Thank fucking God, bro, because something like this has never happened before. Okay. He's 10, but also chew your motherfucking food. Okay. I'm making jokes because it's fine now, but I see the sheer panic in his face. Then I like see his face turn bright red. His eyes like get bug-eyed and you could see like in his head, he's like, I'm choking. And I'm like, fuck. So I go and I like smack his back because when they're babies, you're supposed to smack upwards on their back really hard. And usually like you tilt them over, go like this, then it usually comes out. So my first reaction was like, smack him on his back. Smacked him twice. Didn't work. So then I'm like, get up. I stand up. He's sitting down in the chair. I put my like hands together in a fist under his diaphragm, but he's sitting still. I try and like start literally, what is it? It's the Heimlich, but I give him a Heimlich. I go, huh, but he's sitting down. He's still like, I mean, I can't see his face because I'm behind him, but he's like still choking. It didn't work. I'm like, stand up. I pick him up, stand him up, get behind him, fucking hit him again, standing up. And then I like look at him. And for a second, it looks like he's choking. Like it didn't do anything. And then I went to do it again. He's like, I got it. And obviously, I couldn't end this episode without some of my favorite moments from your favorite co-host, Chance, my soul sister, my gay lover. I love you so fucking much, and I'm so glad we get to experience like this fun and this whole opportunity together. And I just see so much greatness for both of us and for the show. And I'm just wholeheartedly open to everything the universe has to provide for both of us. Because today I have someone in the studio with me, Chance.
We're back, girl, and we're better than ever, mama.
This new year, we have a big announcement, if you have not guessed already.
Drum roll, please.
Chance is gonna be my new co-host.
Dude, so exciting. So exciting. I love it.
Oh my God, this is so crazy. It feels kind of surreal.
It does.
Don't you think?
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's going to be so fun.
It's gonna be so fun. It literally feels like a new era.
I'm like a herpy girl. I show up for a little bit, I go away, and then I always come back. Okay? My contract will never expire because I last forever.
These lips were made for more than just talking. Okay.
Sucking and fucking, girl.
No, but yeah, I think that, a lot of them just have like kinks and fetishes and desires.
Oh, maybe it's a fetish.
I think it's like a fetish thing
Okay.
sometimes. But I mean, I was with a DL for like over a year one time. Like, I'm just seeing what you're doing. I just got off where you at. I'm in Phoenix. And I said, okay, well, you can come over. The vibes were bizarre. He had sunglasses on when he came in. I'm like,
It was
it's
nighttime.
8:00 at night.
Was he like rolling?
So anyways, we do the do. I just blow him. Oh my God. Oh God.
Mentally all coming back.
It's all coming back. I'm like blowing him on the couch, and then he stands up and just starts like actually throat fucking me to oblivion to the point where I'm throwing up. And listen, that type of play is like fun if I guide you to do it. Do not just shove my head down and around, girl. I hate that shit.
I hate that.
Like, there's a difference if I'm grabbing your hand and putting it on the back of my head. It's like, it's go time. Do it.
Or like grabbing them by the waist or like the butt, being like
Yeah.
insisting.
Yes.
Or having a conversation ahead of time
it's
because
my control.
consent is always needed.
Yeah. So I'm like throwing up. And then while I'm throwing up, he's shoving me down further to the point where now I'm slapping his leg because I cannot breathe, girl. He's trying to fucking kill me. I cannot breathe. I'm literally slapping his thigh. Like, let me off of you. And then he goes, catch.
Get the cum? Stop.
Pushes my head off and he goes, catch.
What? Like it's a goddamn goldfish?
Oh my God, I was so disgusted. I was like, ew. Like, is this how you treat girls?
Did you catch it?
I caught it.
But he broke up with me after 5 years because, and I quote, I don't photograph well and I'm too tall.
Someone wrote this in?
Yes.
Wait. So she was dating a man and they broke up, but her best friend is still friends with the man?
Yes, because they're neighbors. This guy broke up with her after 5 years because, and I quote, he said, she doesn't photograph well and she's too tall.
And so she's asking if she should still be friends with this girl.
Yes, because
No, you shouldn't.
Girl. That's fucked.
It's so fucked, and you know what? It's giving frenemy, and it's giving major frenemy vibes.
I didn't even think about that.
It's totally giving frenemy. She's like saying that you're her best friend, but she doesn't want to axe this relationship with your ex-boyfriend.
For what?
Who broke up with you in such a foul fucking way, first of all.
And thank you for being along in the ride of this episode and waiting so long for this episode to come out. I promise you the rest of the year, there will be no 3-week gaps. We will be on every single week until the new year forever because this year is going to change us. Okay? So happy fucking Monday and I'll see you next week, bitches.
Are you still talking? Girl, stop talking.